and welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today, like every single weekday, coming at you live from our studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. On today's show, a lot to discuss. Vitalik is trying to revive an Ethereum scaling solution from 2017. Will that change Ethereum for the better? Also, President Xi Jinping visited the U.S. and, well, he had an interesting interaction with President Biden. We're going to speak on that. We have Crypto Lifer joining us, and also Nick Dundi from Hit Network will be joining us as well. But before we get into anything, I'd like to get into the introduction of your other host, Rob.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, and, well, stale information, package that thing up in a fun Sin City Crypto kind of way. Bitcoin is moving, bro. 37.5.
Wow.
I woke up this morning.
Wow.
I was rubbing the pink eye out of my face, and it was at 35 something, maybe 36,000. And, well, now 37.5.
Wow.
Will we get to 38 by the end of the day? What do you think?
I think if we get to 37.8, we might get to 38. What do you think?
Yeah.
Anyways, before we get any further into the show, I'd like to introduce the newest member of Sincere Crypto. That is our second producer, and she's just an amazing person. Ashley, how you doing?
You know what? I'm good, David. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. So this is your second day back. Who's your favorite host, me or Robin? Just let's get this out of the way now.
Do I really got to do this right
You
now?
have to, yes.
Why?
Okay, never mind.
I
We'll
think
ask her.
both of y'all equally.
That's okay. Remember, we're paying you. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, Ashley will be kind of moderating the chat for us as well and helping Rocco with the production. So big thank you to all of you watching, and big thank you to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you run a business and you want to make sure your networking, IT, and your cybersecurity is up to par, maximized, then you want to visit bluewiretech.com. They will help guide you through everything so you can focus on making money for your business. The link is also in the description of this video. Now, speaking of videos, also, Brokyoshi said, pink eye, did you run the roast beef on your eyes this time? One star for you, Brokyoshi. One star for you.
That roast beef sandwich really got you, boy.
I know, I should have been there for Halloween. All right, so I did mention President Xi Jinping of China visited California. And, well, him and Joe Biden had a little interaction here.
Where's my 10%? Where's my 10%?
Just an average day in the lovely country of India. Robin, have you ever been to India?
No.
Would you like to go?
Yeah, actually, I would.
I would too, actually. This is called a motorcycle bicycle. Motorcycle bicycle. Anyways, we also have this. When things just don't go your way.
She done lost the teeth,
Can you
huh?
imagine being so upset and pissed. You're trying to make a point, then your teeth fall out. Talk about an icebreaker, huh? Did you see this? Okay. This is not a parody. This is actual video. This is a United States senator. We'll just watch.
Like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company myself, and my wife was running the office, because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution, everybody?
No, sit down. Sit down. Look at you. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay. Sit down, please.
Dude
Can I
was
respond?
literally getting ready to throw hands in the Senate. And that is our country, the people that run our country in a nutshell. And how to get out of potlucks for the rest of your life? Well, just mash some things together. Kiwis, olives, carrots, eggs, all the fun stuff. Looks like deviled egg filling there. Great.
What are you making for Thanksgiving this year?
Well, I'm going to CVS. I'll be buying my turkey from there.
The
Kidding.
slice.
I don't know.
turkey?
My wife does all the cooking. But Rob, you've seen Zoolander, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the remake of Zoolander, starring none other than Vitalik Buterin and Charles Hoskinson? Oh man, that was so good. That was so good. All right,
You're easily entertained.
I'm very easily entertained. Yes, and you're easily boring. Now, thought this was interesting with the Bitcoin halving around the year. Ain't the only halving going around. Apparently, Prime Minister of Great Britain has said in January, I made halving inflation this year my top priority. I did that because it is without a doubt the best way to ease the cost of living and give families financial security. Today, we have delivered on that pledge. So not only is Bitcoin being halved, but apparently in England, inflation is also being halved. All jokes aside, PPI numbers came in, and they came in pretty good, the Producer Price Index. So expect CPI to come down potentially under 3% next month. That'll be interesting. What will the Fed do? Will they reverse course? I don't think so. I think higher for longer is true until something breaks. Which, at the rate we're going, something's bound to break. I feel like you're going to say something. No?
No.
Okay. Then we have this. SEC files to delay the decision on Grayscale's proposed ETH ETF rule change. I believe this was to turn it into a spot ETF as well. That has been delayed, to which no one was surprised. And also we had this tweet from Watcher Guru. Judge rejects Binance US and the SEC's request for privacy in their legal case. So everything's going to be out in the open. Who do you think this harms more, Robin? Binance US or the SEC?
Binance.us is just
So who
I feel
gains?
like they're dying, dude. Like, and I'm just saying that I guess this is a
There's like no
this is-
volume.
yeah, this is a win for Binance.us, but is anybody still using Binance.us? You can't onboard and offboard.
Yeah.
But I guess this would be, I mean, obviously a big win for Binance. SEC just can't win anything, right?
Well,
They're
they
losing
both
everything.
Well, they both requested, right? This is a request for privacy, right? So for the legal case to be brought forward in a private manner, judge said no. Everything's going to be public and on the open.
What's the last time the SEC has had some kind of
Library credits.
library, some kind of something they can hang their hat on?
They've had a
And
lot of
it's
wins.
been a while.
Small wins, not the ones that matter, but getting people to
think-
pony up money.
They sued Kim Kardashian, and then she settled. And then a couple
There's-
other celebrities
There's
as
so
well.
much. I just
And then there was Library.
they
but
pushed
ever,
they pushed Bittrex out.
but
right?
ever since then, you haven't really heard much when it comes to the court system. So courts, yeah, but them suing people, that they haven't slowed down there. But
Let's move on. So this was a press release from Commerzbank, the third largest bank in Germany, has become the first full service German bank to be granted crypto custody license. So I posted on our Twitter, which by the way, if you're not following us, do yourselves a favor, follow us on Twitter. If self-custody wasn't an option and you had to either trust an exchange or your bank to custody your crypto, who would you pick, Robin?
I'll trust the banks short term. I think they have less likelihood of insolvency issues. And banks tend to be around for a while. But
Especially if it falls under the FDIC, right?
yeah, I mean this one's a German bank, but yeah, if it's FDIC, but FDIC only assures dollars. So even if you offered here's the thing: if you're keeping gold in a safety deposit box at a bank branch and they go under, that's not insured by FDIC. It's only the fiat currency, and so
Interesting. It'll definitely be.
crypto's going to be the same boat, but it's less likely that a bank would go under in the short term than it is. Yeah.
I want to know what the chat thinks. Put a 1 if you would trust the bank. Put a 2 if you would trust a crypto exchange. 1 bank, 2 crypto exchange. We want to know what you think. We are going to be bringing Lifer on here in a second, but first I do. You know what? Let's bring him on now. We'll bring him on now. This gentleman's been on our show multiple times. Love having him on. Just a master technician, but he's not just a TA expert. The man's got some insight as well. Crypto Lifer. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, man? How's everything? How you guys doing? God
Man,
bless you both.
we're excited. We're excited because you're here. We're excited because I'm here. We're not excited because Robin's here. All jokes aside, a lot of exciting things happening in crypto. Bitcoin has been pumping. Everything's pumping. I think Caspa just continues to make new all-time highs. Solana's over $60. I mean, the markets are on fire.
And I know you're a big Caspa fan too, or at least I've heard you talk about it.
I got in at a penny and been flipping it back and forth. Last night I went in for 30,000 and made $8,000 overnight. Like,
Hey man, my birthday's next month. Robin's birthday is actually this month. My birthday's next
It's
month.
actually it's only
hey,
2
what do
weeks
you got
away.
going for your birthdays?
Robin's birthday's in 2 weeks. Mine is in 3 weeks. Anyways, we'll send you our wish list, okay? And don't be cheap on us. Now,
I just made a trade and I sold 37.6, baby, for 117% gain.
love it. Lifer, let's get into the markets here because we only have you for a short period of time. We know you're a busy man.
Cool.
So liquidations over the last 1 hour, $20 million has been liquidated, with over 82% of those being the shorts, which brings us to the market cap. As Rob mentioned, Bitcoin, $37,360, up 5% over the last 24 hours, and pretty much the same over the last 7 days. When are we going to break 40K, man? When are we going to break 40K? What does the structure look like on the Bitcoin chart?
I never like to say exactly the timing, but I'll be honest, I nailed it again. I don't know how. I do I trade untraditionally. I mean, I trade it's actually not true. I trade so traditionally. I trade like a trader from the late 1990s and the 2000s. See, everyone's gotten these new ideas and added these new indicators, and they've missed the sauce. Like, this is so simple. If you go to my Twitter too later today, everyone, and if you go to my Twitter, like, I'm going to explain how I print money using like two indicators. Like, it's so simple to me, but like it also took me years for things to get this simple. Right. So let me show you what's happening right now. All right. You're looking at, first thing you got to do is look at the weekly. I'll build this for you guys again because it's fun. But the first thing you got to do is look at the weekly chart. All right. And you got to just look at your support and resistance lines with no moving averages. And you got to take into account. Now, if you're on my channel, I said this is a beautiful W, and W's break to the upside with a measured move from here to here. And like, if you do nothing and use no indicators at all, you would have made this gain. So I just want to show that number one, if you just W's break up 68% of the time, you had a 70% chance rounded off. And if I had stochastics, it was like an 80% chance that this was going to hit the measured move. So like, real simple stuff, anyway. And I didn't go by just that. There's some other stuff going on. But this is your resistance. And then what I did is I drew this. And a lot of people last week were saying we were in a bear flag and we were on our way down. And they got a lot of people to bite on that, which I love that. I love when they get people to go short, because that means my bags are about to get pumped, because shorts getting liquidated are people selling Bitcoin to me, right? Or they're selling, so that's like, it's beautiful. And when they start selling off, they're buying Bitcoin really, because they have to cover their position. They're going to throw my bags to the upside. So I drew this trend line and I said, as long as Bitcoin stays above this trend line, we have no problems at all. None. All right. And if we did fall below this trend line, you would have to assume we would hit this yellow line and then the bottom, and then you would be inside of the rising wedge, and then a rising wedge could break down. Now that was the bullish divergence. I called this bottom, and remember, funny, I just posted the day I was on with Forrest on your channel, and me and him both called the bottom together. We were like, it was a year ago. Yeah. And we both said that was the bottom. Like, we were like, I was like 99%. And so had you listened and I did it based off bullish divergence on the weekly. Anyway, so once I saw that, I got rid of this. I didn't really need it for lines, but I knew this was important. And I said, as long as we don't break that, we're good. I used stochastics RSI. They took the slam down, and you got this double bottom in the Stokes. All right. But the main way I traded today, and I went long on my channel in front of everyone, I called a long, We nailed it live on the channel. And then I explained how the long would continue. And I explained why it would continue. This is called hidden bullish divergence. This is the simplest thing you can do to trade. Your RSI will make a swing low, but your price will make a swing up. 90% of the time, you are going to get paid on this. Most of you won't believe me, and you'd have to try this, but I've done this probably 1,000 times in my life. I've blindly bought in with sometimes I won't even, and I said, you always use a stop. I'm so consistent about this. I'll just put what I'm willing to lose and know that I'm going to wake up to money. I've done it to the point of no return. You know what I mean? It's an ATM, like it prints money. So I saw this and I knew we were going up. I saw this again on the 8-hour time frame when everyone was super bearish right here. And I did the same thing. This is simple stuff to me. Price swung up. The RSI swung down. I called along there. I also added a fib, and there was a 786 retracement there. Boom. Also on the 3-day chart. And look at my Twitter post, because I explained this really clearly on Twitter this morning. And honestly, I shouldn't even tell people this stuff. I should keep it to myself. But I'm not, because I could die tomorrow. And if I die tomorrow, I'll be remembered as a dude who gave away his sauce. And so instead of hiding my sauce and making you join my trading group, I give my sauce away for free and hope that you just eventually join my trading group, because you make so much money watching me for free. You feel like, why not join the group at this point, right? So look, swing up to swing up, swing down on the 3-day chart. I also called a big, and what this actual indicator, I feel like it's an indicator, but you find it yourself. What this indicator tells you is you're going to make a high above the high inside of the divergence. So that's the high. It tells me that there's a 90% chance I'm going to break that high. We did it just like that. So I did it on the 3-day, I did it on the 8-hour, and I did it last night. This is full proof. And it was on Casper last night too. So I just do the same stuff, guys, over and over again. Now, I guess it seems simple to me because I've backtested it and my brain and subconscious mind is like, can understand what's about to happen, right? So let's go back into where we were again on the 4-hour. So I don't want to confuse you guys too much. And so I looked at this, and there's something called the Jesse Livermore from Shrewsbury, Mass. And I'm from Massachusetts, so I get this kindred spirit feeling from him. He's dead now. And I did a beautiful documentary. We're doing documentaries on my channel now where we have an A&E quality editor. I do a scripted scene, we script it out, and they're like 10 to 15 minutes long, and they're super beautiful. Like they could go on History Channel. Like they're amazing. And I did one on Jesse Livermore last month. You guys got to see it on my channel. So I'm doing even more than just the live streams, even more than the interviews, even more than just the updates on Friday. We're filling the, and I was a filmmaker and an editor. I worked in TV for years. So my dream was always to produce like historical type of videos. I love Ken Burns, stuff like that. But so I saw this just bringing this up because Jesse Livermore created this, what's called the Livermore bullish cylinder. This is and you can Google this right now, a bullish Livermore cylinder or a Livermore bullish cylinder. And you'll see this is what's supposed to happen. So last night I said to my trading group, and I have it stamped. I said, this is a Livermore cylinder. I said, that's hidden bullish divergence in the 4-hour. I said, and then when stochastics are low on top of it, I'm in. And then if you draw a fib and you hit a 786, which usually you do, look, you came a little, but that's a 786 right there. Those are guaranteed institutional retracements. Why? They've actually harmonically, mathematically measured your emotions. And they know that most people can't take more than a 786, like they can't take it. And so they could bring you here, but once they bring the price down to the 786, they know people get scared and flip short. And they know people get really nervous. And so of course I did that for years. I saw the red candles and they affected me, but now I know the sauce and I know how the institutionals play.
Lifer, you
Yeah.
always talk about the TA sauce. What about the sauce that gives you so much energy to do everything you're doing?
Honestly, I really think I was born with hyperactivity disorder. And for years, it was really hard for me. I couldn't sit still in school. They tried to hold me back. I got in fights a lot. I've been in 150 street fights because I'm impulsive and crazy. That energy has got me in a lot of trouble. And I remember headbutting a kid at a party one night, and my friend who's a multimillionaire took me aside at his penthouse and he said, Sammy, you got so much potential, man. He's like, I know you didn't really mean to do that. The guy was kind of offending you. He's like, but honestly, he's like, if you could harness this, he's like, you could be one of the most successful people I've ever met. And my boys were like 30 mil, and I'm sitting there in his penthouse and he's staring at me. And I still remember this. I'm still great friends with him. And, I struggled with this. And now I realized how I can use it to my advantage. Like I sleep 5 to 6 hours. I work out, and I have to meditate. I have to calm myself. I have to go into nature. And also getting to be 40 years old, I think some of it has calmed down a little bit. But and call it a disorder, call it whatever you want. I've never been diagnosed. But my whole life, everyone's always noticed there was something a little different about me. And like, I always would talk a little too much. I'd always, kind of be rambunctious. It was very hard for me to sit still. So honestly, I just turned what some people think is an issue into a gift, right? And we all have that. We all have a gift, and we all get misinterpreted. But if you can dig deep and find yourself, I'm telling you right now, like you won't, you'll have so much joy, And I used for years, I was frustrated with my personality, with the way I did things, with the way I wouldn't shut up in a conversation. I'd go home that night and be like, damn, I didn't know when to be quiet, And and my dad harped at me a lot too, because he didn't have that, and he'd be like, Sam, like, when are you just gonna shut up sometimes? And I was like, and I'd come home, Dad, we gotta buy Bitcoin, we gotta do this. And he's like, dude, he's like, I just woke up. Like, I'd wake up in the morning, like ready to go, like, Dad, we gotta, and he'd be like, I'm thinking about my dad a lot recently. I wore this shirt the day that I got the call that he passed away. It's kind of funny. So and I remember going to the hospital. This is the shirt I wore as I sat there for 8 hours holding his hand, waiting for my family to get there. But God bless my father, man. He was such a good dad. Amen. And I miss him so terribly much. But yeah, I'm not going to break down. I'm going to hold it together. But so bullish, let's just get back to the brass tags. But bullish, this is hidden bullish. We got the move. And then so today I'm a moving average guy. I use simple. Everyone uses the EMAs. I use the simple. See, I trade old.
Can you maybe if we have some new people that are new to TA, can you explain the difference between simple and exponential on the moving averages?
Yeah, of course. So a simple moving average, right, is simple. And I always talk about it like if you were at a summer camp, you had 21 kids from the ages of 10 to 12 or 10 to 13 or 10 to 14, let's say, and you wanted to find the average age. Is 12 and a half, is 11 and a half. You'd ask each kid their age, all 21 kids, and you divide it by 21, and you'd get a median, right? And this is statistics, bell curve, stuff like that. So this is how they use moving averages. You take 21 days, and you divide it by 21, and you get a number. And you get this at the end of the daily close, right? And so the end of every daily close on the daily candle, you'll get the 21 days. Now, an exponential is going to put more weight on day number 16, 17, 18, 19, and 21. It's going to just exponentialize the last 5 or 6 days. What they think this will do is speed up the measurement and give you more of a less latent signal. These are latent signals. For instance, everyone says buy a golden cross. I don't buy a golden cross. I front run a golden cross. See, now once you've watched a latent signal for 10 years, it's not latent to you anymore because you've watched it play out. So you know when to buy before it even tells you to buy. So if you go to my channel or you listen to me, and this is getting really simple, everyone. You want to make some money? You want to make a lot of money in this next rally? Just look for when the red line's about to hit the yellow line on the daily and buy blindly. Wait 2 weeks, you are going to get paid. There's a 90% chance you're going to get paid. You add a divergence to that and some Fibonacci, and if you buy on a high volume node on the VRVP, right there. So if I go back in time, I knew this was going to happen. I told my whole group, I was like, dude, let's front run this golden cross and get paid, everybody. I just got into EGLD, and I'll show you why. This was a really cool chart where I was juxtaposing total market cap and Bitcoin dominance. This is when the alts pumped. Look, when Bitcoin dominance tanked, the alts pumped, right? So you're always looking for that. So I'm always watching Bitcoin dominance. And look, Bitcoin dominance got some bearish divvy, not looking to look like it's going to come down a little bit. And the alts look like their alts are in an Adam and Eve double bottom that breaks up 90% of the time too. So, and lately, a lot of the things that I've studied the last 2 weeks are just coming to fruition. It's almost like all the time I've put in is really starting to pay off, in a major way. We had 1,000 people on the stream today, the last 3 days. It's been out of control. I've been seeing a huge, and more people are coming in to the space. But look, this is EGLD on the daily. And when I looked at EGLD on the daily, and I gave this to my trading group. So you guys are getting what people pay for, exclusive stuff right here. But look, see how the red line's about to cross the yellow line? I put $8,000 in this coin. Maybe I'm wrong. I could lose, but you're at a high volume node. I'm telling you right now, if EGLD is not up here at 74 in the next 5 or 6, 7, 8 days, I'll be kind of I'll look at it funny. It'll be basically 10% of the time that doesn't happen. 90% of the time, this setup is going to pay me. Low stochastics. There is a little bit of bearish divvy. The MACD is a little extended, but you have to remember that it could be, and again, I could be wrong. This could dump all the way to the downside. I always use a stop, but there's, because anything could happen. You have to believe that. No matter how great you are, no matter how many times you've hit something, a good trader always tells himself, you never know. I'm just taking probabilities, right? So when I saw this move here, I knew we were going to move out. It's funny because I see guys with $100,000 channels that were like, I didn't take the move. A big channel, I won't even mention it, but a big channel shorted right here. And I knew we were going up. There was just, and I knew we were going up because the Stokes went down as price went up too. I study stochastics. I study the stochastics. Whatever. He probably trades even better than me at other times. That was the one time he missed.
It's okay. I'm not going to put you on the spot. You're good.
Yeah, no.
It was us.
But it was you. No,
I shorted.
Robin's the man. So today I saw hidden bullish. Even on the daily, see how that swings down and price swung up. But I like to see it when it gets. I like when it's near the dotted line. See, 4 hours. So last night I'm in my live. At 1 a.m. last night to my trading group. I'm like, I'm long. I'm like, I'm taking this. I'm like, Bitcoin's gonna rip. It's 786 fib with hidden bullish. I remember the Jacob Canfield, well-known guy in the space. He doesn't do YouTube anymore, but he got up to 50,000 subscribers. He was one of the first people. He interviewed, I remember he actually knew Sam Bankman-Fried, when no one knew he was a sleazy.
We don't say
guy,
that name around here anymore, Lifer.
Sorry, yeah. But the point is, this guy's an OG in the space, and I was in his Telegram group late at night. I joined one of his trading groups, and I hounded him every night. And he was like, dude, when I see hidden bullish, I buy it blindly. And I thought he was out of his mind. I was like, buy it blindly? What are you talking about? That's insane. But now I'm doing what he does a lot but it took me years. Anyone can show you this stuff. You have to believe in it, So today on my live, we were talking about the 200 SMA. Whenever you get above a 200 SMA,
look at that candle.
Fly. It likes to fly. I knew there was going to be a candle after that. Because look, see how you got above the 200 SMA here? Boom, explosion, right? So you got above the 200 here? Boom, explosion, right? 200 here? Boom, explosion. They know that when you go below the 200 SMA, they know that when you go below the 200 SMA, likely you get a short, right? So if they bring it down a little bit, they're going to induce all the bots to short. So even if you have bots, your bots are going to get rocked. People think they can just set bots up and trade all the day. I'll still trade around your bot, man. I will trade. I'll trade your bot somehow, some way.
I'm happy you brought that up because it's not just about what, in my opinion, it's not just about what the candles or the structure says, right? You got to understand the other things at play here, whether it's bots, whether it's upcoming news, upcoming data. I think what makes a well-rounded trader, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong, is to take all of that into consideration. Lifer, you brought up your Twitter handle multiple times, so I do want to show this here, guys. Go follow Lifer at CryptoLifer33, and also if you want more Lifer, you want to maybe join his trading group, visit CryptoLifer.com. Lifer, I think I might have to jump on that, bro. Might have to join your trading group, man.
I'm seeing people that work for other big traders in my trading group now. I saw a guy that I'm not going to say again, but I see
they're moles, spies.
I think they're taking the information traders, and they're
sitting there on my weekly screen shares, honing in. And I'm like, you know what, man? I could pass away tomorrow. I hope I don't. And the old me, when I first started my channel, I would know something and I'd be like, I should only give people a little bit, and then I should sell them some of this, And I eventually came to this term that I was just going to give who I was away.
Listen, Lifer, in my opinion, man, every indicator you're using, anyone else can use, right? They can learn, watch videos, and learn, but it's the person behind it, how you can explain it and help people. That's what matters. And that you can't really duplicate.
These are also all free, because everyone has to pay for TradingView. Then you have to buy another service. You know what I mean? I want people to spend as least amount of money as possible so they can get their family out of financial devastation, so they can change their lives. These are all free indicators, everyone, that have been being used since 1971, 30, 40 years. These are,
that's when we got off the gold standard.
So look, when you go, so right here, I open up a trade right there today, right? I'll show you, I can even show you because I don't like the people, BS and stuff, but I open up the trade right there at 36427, right? Because once we got above this 200 SMA, I knew there was going to be skyrocket. There was just going to be fireworks, right? And then when we got here, honestly, I wasn't in the charts. I was literally at a breakfast with my daughter. I took her to a little diner, and I was up nice. I hit 100%. When you hit 100% gain trade leverage with 32x leverage, take your money, man. So I sold at what? 30. I sold at, what did I sell? 7. I sold at 37,776, which 1776, kind of cool, right? And look, lo and behold, how did I even do that? Look, it went to 7071. The futures account went higher. So if you go to, my futures play here, it went up to, dude, I sold it went to 885, right? But man, I take my money, guys. You know what I mean? Pay yourself. Look where, we're probably still going to go higher and stuff, but I took the gains, right? Also, I love the VRVP. There's a point of control there. See the gap here? This gap tells me that we're likely going to move. So using moving averages, the VRVP, and stochastics, man, stochastics RSI, when they're below the dotted line, man. So right now, it's likely that we could come up. And then it's the support and resistance too. Like people are just forgetting support and resistance, which is like my number one, right? So today, like if we come down and we lose 36,766, I know we're going to come down to the 618 and we're going to test this 35,720. Now, if we don't, and what happens now is you're going to interact with the 21-day moving average. Every time you pump up, you have to come back to the 21. You pump up, you come back to the 21. And I knew this as a trident. You pump up, you come back to the 21. So you wait for price to get extended on the stochastics, and then you're going to have to come back to the 21. Now, we could continue to pump. Like, there's no guarantees. And to make sure that you go to the really small time frames. So right now, I'd be on the 7-minute, flagging it out. And if I find a bullish pattern, if I find a little wedge, or I'll get rid of these, they're too long on my projection. But if I find a little pattern, like a wedge or some type of bull pennant, then I'm going to have another 68% chance. So like, here's the next. And I see, the thing about me is I can see the trades before they happen. Because I set them up. So like, if this does this, I'm gonna, and then I touch the 21, I'm in, and I'm gonna take this trade. Now it might make a falling wedge. I don't know which one it does. Whichever one, it doesn't matter to me. I just watch it. And then what I do is I just set in a vertical line, I right click it with an alert, and I walk away. I could go hang out, take a walk. When that line hits, I'm gonna reassess. There's a chance it keeps pumping and I missed a big pump, but most like 80%, 90% of the time, one of these two patterns is gonna happen. We're gonna interact with the 21, and then the next trade is gonna play out. So I do this to hundreds of coins all night long because I have a hyperactive brain, and I'm probably just something wrong with me.
You straight dropped some good knowledge here, man.
Real quick, I want to give a little love to the chat here. If you're new, I see we got a lot of the lifer community here, also some new faces. So if you're new here, say hello. So we can drop an hola back at you. We got D. Widak, Bradley T, Nat Singer, David M, Crypto Aisha, Sugar Shane, Crypto Bear Market, Jason C, Santiago, Double O Kevin, Nicholas, Fib Sniper, Jiven, Sikrez 1, and then Crypto Burger LFC 10 to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. What's our like ratio and viewers looking at?
We're at oh, sorry.
Bad.
Yeah, so
50%. That's really good.
Oh, it's good.
We can keep it up though. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it.
105 likes, over 200 live viewers. So let's get this thing going. So
yeah.
All right.
Lifer, we love having you on the show, man. We're excited to have you back on. I'm happy to announce you'll be joining us every Tuesday moving forward. And so we love.
I'm gonna have to move it. I just realized I think I have to move it. Here's the thing: my wife is pregnant, so she can't like pick up the kids anymore. So I have to get my daughter. And I don't want to hear excuses, bro.
I don't want to hear. Let the kids walk home.
I gotta get my daughter at 2:30. But on Wednesday, if we can move it to Wednesday, that's when she has sewing, and I get her at 3:30. Today, sewing got canceled. So you know what I did for you guys? I was like, I can't cancel these guys after 2 days in a row. So I went to her school right now, and I took her out early, and I brought her home.
Are you doing TA from the school, Lifer?
I'm in the school library right now.
You're amazing, man. Guys, go support Lifer. Go follow him on YouTube. Go to his website and follow him on Twitter, Lifer. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. Love you, brother, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man.
God bless, man.
Take care, brother. All right. Let's bring on our next guest. It is the head of content at Hit Network, Mr. Nick Dundi, also known as the Nick Tater. Nick, how you doing, man?
Guys, first of all, it's good to be back.
Good to have you
I
back,
love
man.
Sin City.
How you been?
Yes,
How's your crypto trading going? You making some
Dude,
money on
first of
this
all,
bull run or what?
I've been great. You know, it's good to work at a place where there is like no drama whatsoever. I am not good at trading, so I'll just be perfectly honest here. I only trade on the weekly. That's about it. I'm a buy the dip, sell the bull run kind of guy. I'm fully invested in the bear market, but as soon as I turn on any type of, as soon as I go away from spot, it's wreck. So I don't do that anymore. I learned a quick lesson.
Are you DCAing right now? Or are you chunk buying?
Chunks. I always DCA because I have my miners, and that's kind of like I call that my ECA. So I electronic cost average in, but I'll buy in chunks.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's get right into the content here. So we have this video from Kevin O'Leary, right? And remember, this is the man who's still
is he still bullish on crypto?
He's still bullish on exchanges. Well, here we go.
This is the anticipation of finally licensing a Bitcoin ETF, which I'm not as optimistic will happen overnight, but it does show you that the age of the crypto cowboy, the FTX and the Binance, those days are over. This month, in the next 10 days, they will announce M2 in Abu Dhabi, the largest exchange ever that's regulated, with billions backing it and tied to huge financial institutions. Really what they're going after is Binance will probably lose half of its accounts to the new M2, because now you can go off something that the SEC is suing and go onto a compliant exchange that's backed by billions of dollars and huge financial institutions. Hi, Mr. Wonderful here, and I am small business. Does your company...
Are you small business? I guess I'll ask you, Rob. I'll ask you first. Does he have a point? Like, do we need these big hitters to come in and kind of set up shop and have the billions?
We don't need it, but it makes it convenient for institutions and traditional investors to get exposure to crypto without doing the seed phrase. Without, honestly, is it beneficial, or is it ideal to use an overseas exchange when you live here in the States? Economic rules are a little more lax there, which is in favor of crypto, because here in the States it's a pain in the ass to buy crypto, but overseas rules are more lax, but at the same time it's going to carry more inherent risk, because we've seen insolvency issues. It's been if you've been in the crypto space long enough, you've seen exchange after exchange after exchange, pretty much every bear market shut the doors, and it's just I don't know.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. Mr. Wonderful talks his bag, so obviously he's not invested in Binance. He's hated Binance for a while. Like, if my memory serves, like, he never liked Binance from the moment they basically CZ tanked FTX. So then he was like the sworn enemy of CZ. He kind of says like it's the end of the age of the crypto cowboy. But I mean, we still got guys out here like Ken Griffin with Citadel, who's basically the next Bernie Madoff. If anyone's paying attention to what Ken Griffin is doing and how he's just like magically making money hand over fist while the stock market is giving back all of their gains this year. By the way, the stock market is propped up by 7 companies called the Magnificent Seven. If those 7 companies weren't doing well, the whole stock market would be in red this year. So there's something fishy going on here. And if Mr. Wonderful thinks that there's going to be some type of regulatory play against like actual Binance, not Binance US, which I still don't think he understands the difference. That's wrong.
I agree with you.
That's wrong. He's just talking his book. That's what he always does.
Yeah. Puppet his bags. Well, I do want to talk about this. So this was on our thumbnail today. So a refresh of Ethereum's Plasma looks a lot like Hydra. And of course, they're speaking of Cardanzo. According to Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, Plasma should be revisited by the team. Plasma was launched in 2017 as a solution to help Ethereum scale. As a layer 2 platform, Plasma helps the network run smoother by diverting data and information to an off-chain environment, not bogging down the network. He added that Plasma could offer a massive security upgrade for chains that would be Validium's otherwise. With the ZK EVMs coming to head at the end of this year, there is development capacity to re-explore Plasma's design and consider how it can be a more effective solution to protect user funds. Now, many in the community noted that rethinking Plasma's design sounds noticeably similar to Cardano's Hydra, and some even calling it copy-paste of Hydra. So some people are saying, hey, you got Ethereum Vitalik over here chasing Charles. Nick, what are your thoughts on Ethereum state now? We know gas fees. I went to swap on MetaMask yesterday. Gas fees were still $17 to swap $180 worth of some meme coin I bought.
Yeah.
So what are you, does Ethereum need something like this? And if they don't, what does that mean for Ethereum moving forward into the bull market when there's going to be transactions by tenfold, and if nothing's fixed on the scaling side?
Yeah, I mean, this is Ethereum. They know that they're in a really bad spot. They were selling the merge as this kind of like panacea. Hey, gas fees are going to basically go super down. It's going to make everything so much faster and so much cheaper. And then they kind of got into the data and started figuring out, oh, this isn't going to work. And then they changed the narrative. They're like, actually, no, Ethereum is going to be really green now. Yeah, because green means cheap, right? No, in no place does green energy mean cheap. So you kind of already like pulled up your skirt and showed what you're talking about. But him trying to like reference plasma and bringing up plasma is like a Hail Mary. Sure. I mean, plasma will work. Plasma will make some things cheaper. It also takes anywhere from a week to 14 days to pull your funds off of the plasma network.
Yep.
So as far as it being safe, yeah, it's safer. As far as fast, no. So you're already limited to a lot of the areas that you're able to implement plasma. If Ethereum, for whatever reason, they're hell bent on being like the gaming chain, there's no way Ethereum as a L1 is ever going to make it on a game. Period. End of discussion. I mean, you got other projects like, I believe Illuvium is on Ethereum as L2. You got Polygon. You got, a bunch of other things that are running on Ethereum. You really need like a layer 3 to be even faster than Polygon to make it usable for a game. So I don't know what the play here is. Are they going for institutional money and saying, hey, we're like the high frequency trading of crypto? Well, also wrong, because high frequency trading in crypto or high frequency trading on the stock market happens within like, a thousandth of a second, and it's free. Okay. Like, because you own the server, you own the network. So yeah, it's just very confusing. And as far as like saying that they took a page from Hydra, look, there's a whole bunch of the beginning of Ethereum, in case you don't know, it was a polycule. Let's just be honest with ourselves. It was an intellectual polycule. There was alcohol, there were drugs, there were mansions. And everyone was throwing around ideas like at 100 miles an hour. Charles Hoskinson was a part of that for quite a long time. Did they exchange a bunch of ideas and had some ideas, sitting in a notebook somewhere, and he decided to take a page from that, and maybe Cardano used the same thing? Yeah, but who cares? Because it's the implementation that matters. Right now, Cardano has Hydra and it works great. Ethereum doesn't. They have Plasma and it works, but it's like, it takes you 2 weeks to get your money out. So I'm bearish on Ethereum in the long term. I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum in the short term. If I'm going to put myself on my crypto alignment chart, that's kind of where I'm standing.
It's funny how Ethereum, Cardano, just crypto layer ones in general are so tribal, and that the community is always saying, you copied me, you copied me. At the end of the day, it's all open source code. And so where you see a benefit on one chain, there's really, you would be foolish and ignorant if something worked on a competitor's chain. It's open source, the code is there, you could implement it into your own. Why wouldn't you, right? And it's to say, hey, if a car company made brake pads that work 20% better, and hey, you made it from this material, it'd be kind of dumb for Ford to look over at them and be like, well, we don't want to copy you, so we're just gonna keep these crappier pads. I just think it's very tribal. And then on top of that, at its core, blockchain is transparent, and so is the technology. So we copy Bitcoin, or the premise of Bitcoin, the decentralization, the miners, and Cardano copied staking from Ethereum, the smart contract. So it's just one big pool of technology that's all growing in unison. And I think that people need to stop trying to one up each other and say my chain is better or worse. I do think that Cardano is a little ahead of the game, though. And I think a lot of that comes from launching afterwards and seeing what worked on Ethereum. And so I think Ethereum is behind, though. I would have expected by now, like if you would have asked me in 2020, what gas fees are looking like, throughput, transactions, I would have expected Ethereum to be a lot further along in development as far as scalability, as we are now. But a little surprised. I'm just curious on how long it's going to take before it's a viable layer one.
not all, but a majority of the liquidity is on Ethereum. That's why people keep.
They're leveraging the layer 2.
It is,
like
yeah.
Polygon is.
It is.
Polygon and all the liquid staking, everything that they're hyping up on Ethereum isn't on the main chain. And so the main chain itself, maybe it's done by
which is what Vitalik wants. He's come out and publicly said he wants all the smart contracts and dApps to run on layer 2s and layer 3s.
But then he comes out and says, "Hey, we're rolling out Plasma." So he might, to the press, to media, to when he's speaking on Ethereum, he might say, "Hey, we like the security and the way Ethereum is now," but I think he realizes that he needs to step his game up as far as the development of the layer 1. Otherwise, somebody else is going to take the title.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just do a quick Google search, I'm looking at a 2019 roadmap from Consensus as far as like Ethereum goes, and they were talking about sharding years ago, and they still can't do it right. I mean, where are we at this dumb roadmap? The merge, the surge, the verge, the purge, and the splurge.
And the funny thing is, that's not even a joke. Like, that's literally
it's
the
not.
roadmap.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the roadmap. So we finished the merge ish, and now we're in the surge. And Cardano has Hydra.
Because bull market's coming, baby. Solana
there's
Solana flipped USDC. It's got XRP in its crosshairs.
Let's go, baby.
Solana's sitting at 27.4 billion, and XRP's at 34.6. So will Solana flip XRP? I want to know what the chat thinks. Put a 1 for yes. Put a 2 for no. Also, if you want to follow Nick Dundi on Twitter, here is his Twitter handle, at Nick Dundi. Nick, we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much. Yeah. Any parting words?
Guys, smash the like button. Subscribe to Sin City Crypto. These guys are out here every day bringing top crypto alpha, hot takes, and olas for your entertainment and your education. So do not fade Sin City Crypto. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
We also say hola Dios.
What's your favorite pickup line?
What?
Oh, God.
Take notes, guys. Take notes. You want to pick up the
What's
ladies.
What's your favorite pickup line?
That's what we got to do here. All right.
What?
That's game. That's game.
Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
See ya.
Take care.
See ya.
All right.
That clip never gets old.
Never gets old. What? We got big news from Disney, man.
What?
Disney, and it looks like they might. Can Disney be the one revival for Flow and Dapper Labs? So Disney debuts NFT pins for fan favorite franchises. No Mickey Mouse up in here. The Walt Disney Company embarked on its inaugural journey into the Web3. The multinational company has declared that it is working on its own NFT product in collaboration with Dapper Labs, who also runs the Flow blockchain. Guys, let me show you something here, okay? So Flow, to me, is extremely high risk, high reward. Extremely high reward, and I'll tell you why. If you take a look at Flow, right? 69 cents, all-time high for Flow, was well over $40. $40. So you're looking at a potential, well, back when Flow was at 50 cents, you're looking at a potential 100x from a token that is still in the top 100. The only thing with Flow is their inflation schedule, but they go after the big boys. They got the NFL with NFL Moments. They have NBA with NBA Top Shots. They did Crypto Kitties. Now with Disney, are they the Polygon of the NFT NFT-centric blockchain? In spite of the faded NFT token hype, a recent Halloween special from The Simpsons reportedly put the focus back on NFTs. And guys, look no further than Disney owns 21st Century Fox, who is the producer of The Simpsons. So they roll out a NFT episode on Simpsons, and then Disney announces this. Good marketing. Good marketing. And then one last thing here, the fairy tale list of Disney Pinnacle NFT includes Darth Vader, Woody the Woodpecker, top Disney princesses like my favorite Rapunzel, Cinderella, and Snow White, among other key characters. Robin, is Disney the kind of company, right, that can put something like Flow back on the map?
I think so, man. There's gonna be the NFT market outside of the traditional JPEGs, the 10,000 minted versions that we've gotten accustomed to. I think that's gonna be a thing of the past, or at least its dominance in the NFT market will be. I think something to keep an eye out for is ticket sales, and then also small collectibles that you're gifted with certain purchases. Hey, you go to the park, you'll get some sort of NFT. Also, they have a ton of media, so all of their videos, they have tons of clips. They have short, like they have Mickey Mouse short episodes. There's a ton of things that they could monetize through NFTs, give the community ownership, and we've seen that they like to buck the trend from other people making money. So we've seen streaming platforms where, hey, traditionally you needed to offer a DVD, which was made by some media company. Then it was streaming where you would stream on Netflix. Then they were like, hey, we're going to do this in-house, do it ourselves. And now they have the Disney and Disney Plus network where you can stream. What's to stop them from doing the same thing, but for ownership, saying, hey, instead of going out and buying the rights to a movie, or not really the rights to a movie, but going on a platform like, say, Amazon Prime, their streaming service, and then buying the $20 movie, why not just sell that as an NFT? I think that's something we could see, something to keep an eye out for. And I think that they are pretty progressive when it comes to marketing and monetizing for themselves. I think blockchain and NFT makes a lot of sense. So this could just be the foray into that sector. I like Flow. I like Dapper Labs. I think that is something to watch out for. And I'm not sure about the tokenomics. They don't have a cap on their maximum supply, so I'm not sure what their inflation looks like. But I will say that
here you go, top of the list.
As far as price history, it is.
Got to admit, well, the emissions aren't that bad, right? 0.27% of the last. Well, that's the last 7 days. Look at the last year.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna make me pay. I hate you. Anyway, so you can see here you have. Why is this not showing up? You have 1.3 billion unlocked. What is going on? Oh, here we go. Max supply. Yeah. There is no max supply. Yeah. So that is where the risk comes in. But again, we saw Flow get up to over $40. And so that is something that I've held on to my Flow bag for a while. I've been staking it. I understand it's risky. I'm expecting it for me to maybe break even, maybe, but I'm prepared to lose it all. That's just a risk I'm willing to take. But it's something that can give you a 50, 60, 70x return, even from here.
What if their partnerships with the NFL and NBA, what if their partnerships expanded to ticketing?
That would be massive.
Right?
That would be massive.
All of those transactions.
It makes sense. It makes total sense. NFTs and ticketing.
At some point, you got to think about it this way. At some point, let's just take the Raiders, for example. Say the Raiders organization, they sell tickets. They lose all profitability and aftermarket sales immediately after they sell the original seat, right? They don't make any money unless you go into their website and then buy from there. But a lot of the transactions are done on StubHub, on Game Time, Vivid Seats. They don't kick back to the organization.
It's ridiculous the fees they charge.
Yeah,
it's
and you're
asinine.
Upwards of 10%, and then they put fees on top of it as well. So
you recently went through that. Remember when we got you bought a ticket to the hockey game and then you have to sell it because we got
they made I think it was like $800 on me buying a ticket and then turning around and selling it later. And I ended up being a wash for me. I didn't make any profit.
Even though you sold the ticket at a higher price.
Yeah, I sold it at a higher price, but the fees ate all the profit out. And at some point, some NFL franchise, some NBA franchise, and maybe they're handcuffed by some kind of bargaining agreement that the NFL and NBA have. But I would assume at some point contracts will expire. Somebody's going to say, hey, I want to keep the money in-house on after ticket sales. And what's the best way of doing it? Hey, you don't get a double spend, right? You don't want two people to show up with the same ticket.
Yep.
And so that's what blockchain originally solved was the double spend. And so we know if I send you a Bitcoin, you send it to somebody else, it doesn't, you can't manipulate that. And so just remove Bitcoin and replace it with a ticket to attend a basketball game. It's the same thing. I send you a ticket to a basketball game. The consensus and the blockchain verify the transaction, and it is sent. You receive it. Done. And if you do it on something that if you do it on a chain that isn't bogged down with fees, that's scalable and faster,
even better.
Then at that point, hey, it only costs me fractions of cents, and then you can program royalties back into the franchise. So instead of StubHub getting 10%, you can say, hey, why don't we go with 5% back to the franchise, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. And the partnership's already there. So if they expand on it, who are they going to partner with? It's going to be Flow.
Flow is like the Polygon of like NFT-centric blockchain, right? All the big brands and names are flocking to them. And so very interesting. I want to give a shout out to Army Piper's in the chat. Army Piper, I'm still working on those odds from the casinos here. You're going to give me some time, bro. I got to make guys, go follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. Big thank you to our guests today for joining us. And with that being said, Rocco, cue the advertisement. Big thank you to channel sponsor Cams, Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn more about how they can help your business, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. And today's Finger Tornado was brought to you by Cams, Blue Wire Tech. So with that being said, Rocco. Oh, sorry. Who's pressing the button? You're Ashley. Ashley! Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We had an amazing time. We hope you did too. Come back tomorrow, same place, same time. On behalf of all of us here at Sin City Crypto, we love you guys. Ashley also loves you, right? You love everyone else? There we go. See you later. Peace.
Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya, to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO